Hi, this is Adele from Moving Body. We're going to do a 40-minute flow this morning, incorporating some Vinyasa and some Hatha. There will be modifications throughout, so please choose modifications if you need them. And we're going to start with a little bit of breath work. If you're feeling at any point a little bit dizzy during the breath work, then please just stop and breathe normally. We're going to do some Kapalabhati breathing, which is quite deep abdominal breathing. If you haven't done this before, it can feel a little bit unusual to start with, but please do give it a try. It's very good for cleansing your body, giving your mind quite a lot of stillness, and is a great preparation for your class ahead. Just let your shoulders soften down. Always consider the length through your spine without popping your chest forward. So a good way to imagine increasing spinal length is to think about having a string attached to the front of the top you're wearing, and you're gently pulling the string up towards underneath your chin. So you're reaching your chest up to your throat without pushing your chest forward, because we don't want our spine to follow the direction of our ribs. You want to find and create space. Holding here, you can place one hand onto your tummy and one hand onto your chest to help you feel the deep breath through your Kapalabhati. Allow your eyes to be closed if that is comfortable for you, but if you prefer them open, please go ahead and open your eyes. Let's just do a couple of breaths to prepare. Breathing in through your nose and sigh out through your mouth. And again, breath in through your nose. Lengthen your spine, breath out, all the way out through your mouth. I'm going to bring both my hands onto my belly, find it a little bit more comfortable, and then bring them down onto my knees after a few breaths. Nice deep breath in. As you exhale, through your nose, try to catch the breath at the back of your throat and pump your tummy in and out so you can feel your belly pressing onto your hands. We're going to continue with our breath. Soften down through your shoulders, another 15 to go. And pause. You may feel that your face has gone a bit tingly, that's quite normal. Just allow that sensation to pass if you're feeling that at the moment, and just let yourself find your natural comfortable breath. Bring your hands to your shoulders, fingertips resting above your shoulders, elbows soften down gently by your sides. You're going to inhale over to your right, and then as you exhale, snap your body back into center. Four more. Into center. Try to move from your sternum, from where that piece of string is attached to your top. Opposite side, inhale. Two. Hold in center. Allow your breath to settle. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Gently lean your chest forward, rolling gently off your sit bones, and press your palms away from you. Lengthen your arms. Allow your little fingers to lower down towards the earth. If you feel comfortable to, elbows can lower down. And nod your head, soften through your shoulders, and feel the stretch coming into your outer thighs. The leg that is crossed on top of your opposite leg, you may well feel down the back of that thigh a slightly deeper stretch. Palms can turn down if you prefer to. Soften shoulders, head nods gently down towards the earth. Press into your palms. Lift your chest, slide your hands back to your knees, and sink slowly into your seated cat. Release, bring your chest forward, And just switch over the way that you have your legs crossed. If it's not comfortable having your ankles crossed, just try to bring one shin, your inside shin, behind your front calf, so that takes the pressure off your ankle bones. Again, bring your hands to prayer. Have your fingertips facing away from you. Gently press your arms forward, shoulders soften. Nod your head as your little fingers lengthen down to touch the earth. Elbows bend. If you feel you can't come as deep into this side stretch, absolutely fine. Head nods down. Palms face down towards the earth as an option if you wish. And let your head nod. Find that deep stretch coming into your outer thigh, a little bit into your glutes. And just let your breath soften into any areas that might feel a little bit sticky, might feel a little bit stiff. Gently reach your elbows away from the ground, walk your fingertips forward, let your chest lift, walk your hands back to your knees, hold onto your knees. One last time, sinking your back into a seated cat. Gently keeping that shape of your spine, lift into your seated cow. And let your shoulders soften, lovely. Hands come underneath the sides of your knees. Press your thighs together, hands by your sides. Roll over onto your knees into your 4-point kneeling position, tucking your toes down into the earth. We're going to come into our first downward facing dog. Press as much as you can into the heels of your hands and try to create an L shape with your thumb coming away from your index finger. Pushing down into this position, as long as you don't put too much tension through your wrists. Toes tucked down into the earth. Send your tailbone back to your heels to press yourself up into a downward facing dog. Now, if you feel as though you're too close towards your hands, rather than walking hands to feet, walk your feet back first. Spread your toes nice and wide. Spread your fingers wide to find that pressure through the heel of your hand, and just adjust your feet so your heels are disappearing behind your ankles. Elbows are soft, nod your head, heels lift, tailbone up to the sky, and now bend your knees to let your chest sink a little bit deeper. Imagine that the sides of your shoulders are pressing outward and feel your shoulder blades start to activate. A really great tip for getting yourself into a great downward facing dog position is to allow your body to come forward as if you're coming into a plank. Bend your elbows out to the sides, which widens your thoracic spine, and let yourself come back into downward facing dog. Keep your knees bent, tail up to the sky, and now slowly lower one heel as your opposite knee bends deeper, and switch your legs over. Downward facing dog has so many lovely benefits. You can use it to really calm your nervous system, especially if you've had a very busy day. You can probably feel as you're doing this that you create a lovely stretch in the back of your calves, into your hamstrings, and the closer your chest comes to your thighs, you can create space and a stretch down your spine. One last side of walking through your dog. And now come into stillness in the centre. Head lowers down. If you need to come out of this at any point, please come to your child's pose, your balasana, and just take a few breaths there. Now as you inhale, reach your right leg behind you, coming up into your 3-legged dog. Bend your knee, lift through your Mula Bandha, and gently twist your knee out to the side to open up your hip. Soften through your left knee, keep your heel lifted, and try to open your hip a bit more by pressing the outside of your knee a little further up towards the sky. Hold for a few breaths in this position. If you want to extend your leg to progress this exercise, please do. Really nice deep hip opener. Lift up through your centre. Bend your knee. Twist your knee back down so your hip rolls to the earth and your inner thigh rolls up to the sky. And slowly step your foot through into your first lunge. You can stay in a high lunge, with your chest gently glued to your thighs, pressing your opposite heel away from you, or if you prefer, your back knee can soften down to the earth and you can release your foot. Whichever asana you're in, shoulders soften away from you, find a deep stretch through your hip flexor, and pausing here just for a moment. Slowly, if your back knee is down, start to walk your hands back as you straighten your front leg. Lift your toes. If your back knee isn't down, please bring it down to this position. Find a deep stretch again through your hamstrings, chest faces forwards. Tilt your tailbone away. If you want to bring chest to thigh, nose to knee, keep your right hip pushing forward, left hip gently pulling back, so you're in a modified pyramid. Deep breaths. Soften your front knee down again. Step your back toes to the earth. Lift your heel back up. Plant your hands down either side of your feet and bring your leg back into your three-legged dog. Now lower your right foot down towards the earth. Lift your left heel up. We're not going to open the hip just yet, but you're going to step your left foot through and slowly start to bring your hands around to the front of your mat. Twist your body round so you're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Let your head nod down towards the earth. Lift your gaze and now turn your left foot away. Soften your left knee. Walk your hands over and lift your right toes away from the earth. You don't have to lower deeper into the side stretch if you don't wish to. You can stay in a modified position. Pull your toes up. If you wish, you can lift your upper body and reach your left hand up towards the sky. It deepens the stretch of your inner thigh on the right, and you can look down towards your right leg. Keep lifting your chest high. Lift your gaze if you wish. Hand comes down to the earth. Always remember your modifications. Slowly start to bring the inside of your right foot to the ground. Turn yourself back again and you're back into your lunge with your left foot stepping forward. Lower your back knee. Bring your left hand to the inside of your left foot and bring your left leg behind you. Sink deep into your balasana, your child's pose. Tailbone comes down towards your heels. Nice even breaths. In through your nose, out through your nose. If you wish to stretch your hips, you take your knees a little bit wider in your balasana and reach your fingertips away. To stretch your lower spine, your knees come in and you sink down a little deeper again. Head to the earth. Now lift your gaze. Bring yourself up to a high kneeling position. Arms lift, cross your ankles, lower your hands down, slide over your heels, reach your legs forward. Inhale, arms come to the side, exhale, lift, and send your body forward into a forward fold. Elbows soften, you can land your hands wherever they land. Keep your spine rounded to flex your back. Lift your gaze, slide your hands up, come to your seated staff pose. Cross your ankles, roll over your knees and come back into your 4-point kneeling. You're going to work the opposite side. Press down into your hands, push yourself up into your downward facing dog again. Remember, you move your feet rather than your hands. Gaze comes towards your fingertips. Elbows soften, head nods down. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no, so you have no tension through your neck at all. Holding in your downward facing dog. Left leg extends up towards the sky.
Soften your right knee, heel stays lifted. Remember, chest to thigh to deepen the stretch. Holding here, lifting through your Mula Bandha. Bend your left knee, turn your left knee out to the side to open up through your hip. Really strong through your upper body. Think about activation from your shoulder blades, your shoulder girdle. Now can you lift your knee any higher? Lift up through your center. You can stay here, or you can progress and deepen your stretch by extending your leg away, keeping your hip turned out. Soften through your supporting knee a little deeper if you want to. 2 more breaths here. Lift through your center. Now bend your knee, rotate your knee back to the earth, hip rolls down, inner thigh rolls up. Look towards your fingers and step your left foot through into your lunge position. Now remember, you can come down to a low lunge if that is more comfortable for you, or you can stay up in your high lunge. Whichever position you're in, think about shin at the front being nice and straight, not pushing too far over your ankle. If your back leg is lifted, lift your hips so you lift out of your lower spine. Relax your shoulders, chest to thigh, push your heel behind you. Now you may stay, if you wish, in a slightly more progressive lunge, or soften your back knee, relax your foot, keep your chest forward, shoulders again, elbows soft. Find your deep hip flexor stretch on your right side. Find your breath, nice easy breath patterns. If you're lifted, keep thinking about pushing the crown of your spine away from your heel, crown of your head lengthens away from your spine, lengthens away from your heel. Everyone, lower your back knee, soften your foot, start to walk your hands back as you lift your toes. This is where you may need to pull your left hip back so your right hip can come forward. Rest on fingertips or flat hand. Think about length through your spine, soften your elbows. Again, you can bring chest to thigh, nose to knee. It's a deep stretch, modified pyramid into the back of your thigh and also a little bit to inner thigh and knee. Sink a little deeper. Nice even breaths. Now lifting your gaze. Tucking your back toes into the earth as you walk your foot down to the ground. Walk your hands forward. Now lift your back foot if you haven't done that already in back knee. And gently step your front foot back into your downward facing dog. Now lift your right leg, bend your knee. Step it forward into your lunge position. And now start to bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot and walk your hands forward as you twist your body round so you're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Dropping your head down towards the earth. Gently turn your toes in and your heels out. Tailbone up to the sky. Bring your weight forwards into the balls of your feet and toes. And if you feel comfortable, nod your head down to the sky, down to the earth, tailbone up towards the sky. Release here, lifting your gaze. Now turning your left foot out slightly, slight directional change, 45 degrees, a little bit on your right foot. Bend your right knee and walk your hands over to your foot as you lift your left toes, only if you feel comfortable to do this particular part. Otherwise, you can stay much higher in a side lunge position. So you can come up and you can lift and rest onto your supporting right knee. Otherwise, allow yourself to lower all the way down. Find the stretch through your left inner thigh. If you need to adjust your foot, please go ahead and do so. If you want to take this into a deeper side stretch, left hand comes to the earth or rest on your knuckles if that gives you more balance
And again, if you have a block, place a block here. You can always use blocks to help you as props, or a book, a good book if you have one. You can now extend your right arm up to the sky. You don't have to look at your fingertips. You can stay looking in front of you. Use your Mula Bandha. Find your balance. Hold for a few more breaths. Toes lift if you want to increase your inner thigh stretch. Hold for 2. Last one. Well done. Bring your hands down. Slowly start to bring yourself back to your forward fold. Nod your head down. Turn your heels in. Soften through your knees, tailbone high. Hands to your hips. Tilt your tailbone down as you come up into your goddess. Spread your toes nice and wide. Inner thighs gently press back. Outside edge of your knee gently presses back. Find the length through your spine. Tailbone drops down the back of your thighs. Arms reach up to the sky and find your goalpost or your cactus arms, holding it here. Drop a little bit deeper. Press into your feet. Let's start to gently mobilize a bit deeper through our hips. Softly rocking from side to side, let your elbows come with you. Keeping your chest lifted. Remember that imaginary piece of string that we can have in the center of our chest that lifts our chest up towards the bottom of our chin. Hold in center. Find your goddess. Can you sink a little bit deeper? Keep your tailbone dropping down the back of your thighs. Push into your feet. Now inhale, rise, good. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Now change your breath pattern. Exhale, rise up, exhale through your nose. Inhale, all the way down, pressing back through your little toes. Exhale, lift. Inhale, one last one. Exhale, root down to rise. Inhale, hold in your goddess here. Sink a bit deeper. Tailbone drops down. Squeeze your palms in towards one another. Fingertips release. Now take your right arm underneath your left and find your eagle arms. Good. Straighten your legs up towards the sky. And as you lower down, you pull your elbows a little lower. As you straighten your legs, your arms lift a little higher. And again, inhale. Exhale to reach. Inhale down, exhale, holding here. Arms come nice and wide. And then swap your arms around, so opposite arm comes around. And again, lower down and lift. Keep it wide if you feel it's more comfortable. Lower down and lift. Last 2, lower down, press it up high. One last one, inhale, exhale, reach. Arms come out to your sides. Gently lift your chest, turn your palms up to the sky, find a lovely chest opener. Palms come down, hands come to your hips. Turn your toes forward, soften your knees and jump yourself in so your feet are quite close to one another. Stay in this position. Weight back into your heels. Now find your Tadasana. Find your mountain pose. Think about rotating right from the top of your shoulders. Pausing here, crown of your head reaches up to the sky. Lovely. Now inhale, rise your arms up, interlace your fingers. Only your index fingers, your peace fingers are pressing forwards. And now bring your head in between your arms. So your biceps are pressing onto your ears. If you feel it's not comfortable to have your feet together because your ankle bones are pressing together, have your feet a tiny bit wider. But always keep your weight back to your heels, ribs back to your spine. Lengthen through the mid part of your body. Eyes stay on the horizon as you start to windscreen wiper your arms and your body from side to side. Use your deep abdominals.
Find a little bit of pelvic floor activity. Try to relax through your bottom. Great side stretch. Keep both your armpits facing forward so you're not twisting through your spine. Next time you land over to your right, pause here. Reach your fingertips away. Now make sure your right armpit is forward. Pull your ribs back to your spine. Can you reach longer through your fingertips? Can you sink a little deeper to the side? Hold for 3. Nice deep breaths, 2. Last one, into center, gentle windscreen wipe again. Keep reaching up to lengthen through your spine. Try not to move your hips too much. Next time you land over to the opposite side, reach your fingertips, press the heels of your hands, palms together, and push a little deeper into your side bend. Armpits are forward, ribs are back to spine, weight in your heels. Feel that deep side stretch. Squeeze your ears with your biceps. Pull up gently through your Mula Bandha. Hold here, another couple of breaths. Back into center and windscreen wipe again. Fantastic. Reach your arms away, palms face forward. Arms come down by your sides. I'm going to come side on so we can come through some sun salutation vinyasa flow. Inhale, root down to rise. Exhale, nod your head down into your Uttanasana. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Plant your hands down, nod your head, exhale, step, hop or jump back into your plank. Remember your chaturanga, you can modify and come down to your fleshy part above your thighs. Rest your feet to the earth and then lower yourself all the way down. You can come into a baby cobra or you can press to the top of your feet. Chest shines forward, lift into your upward facing dog, shoulders roll back. Nod your head, roll over your toes, walk your feet in, downward facing dog. Nod your head yes, shake your head no. Inhale, lift your gaze, bend your knees, exhale, step up or jump to the front of your mat, into your Uttanasana. Inhale, root down to rise, all the way up to the sky, hands come to center. Find your heart center, turn your palms away and find your Tadasana. Holding here. Press your palms away, weight back into your heels. Let's move through one more of our sun salutation vinyasas. Inhale, reach nice and high. Exhale, nod your head down, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Nod your head, exhale, step up or jump back into your plank. Now remember your options for chaturanga here. Lift up through your hips, push yourself down. Lift to upward facing dog if you prefer, or baby cobra. Nod your head, roll over your toes, find your downward facing dog. Soft through your knees. Pause here for a breath. Now lift your gaze, we're going to come to Malasana, our yogi squat. Bend your knees, step up or jump forward and bring your feet to the outsides of your hands. Now with your Malasana, you can stay with your heels lifted away from the earth if you prefer, or you can walk your feet gently out to the side. You can put blocks underneath your bottom to sit on. Hands come to prayer at heart center if you prefer to sink into your deep Malasana or find your modification. Press your elbows wide, sink your tailbone down, find your breath, chest reaches high to the sky. 2 more breaths here. 1 last breath. Now slowly, in whichever variation of Malasana you are in, remove your hands from prayer, bring your hands to the outsides of your hips, lower your bottoms down and twist yourself around so you're lengthways back onto your mat if you had turned any way and your widthways before. Press your toes away, reach your arms forward, tilt your pelvis, roll halfway, feet come flat to the earth with your heels lifted, lift your knees into your chest. Hold the back of your thighs, press hands to legs,
legs to hands. Now lift out of your pelvis slightly, so your back is not quite as much in your pelvic tilt. Hold your legs if you wish to, elbows soften down. Stretch your legs up, lift your chest. This is your modified, second modification of your Navasana boat pose. First modification, bend your knees. Then we progress to legs straight and then reach your arms away. Lift your chest, hold. Bend your knees. Soles of your feet come together. Hands come to your ankles, gently press to your inner knees. Nod your head, round your spine. Find your modified butterfly. Chest to heels. Lift your gaze, lift your chest, hands underneath knees, squeeze your knees together. Find your Navasana one last time before we come to Shavasana to end our practice. Hold behind your thighs, press hands to legs, legs to hands, elbows wide and soft. Lift up to the sky. Now keep your chest lifted. Modification 1. Fantastic. Modification 2. Slight progression here, lifting up your chest, pull up through your thighs, lift your gaze, arms can come narrow or wide. Bend your knees, soles of your feet together, hands to ankles, knees to the sides gently, elbows to inner knees. Nod your head, round your spine. Sink into your stretch. One last breath. Lift your gaze, hands to outer thighs, squeeze your knees together. Place your hands to the outside of your hips, lengthen your legs a bit further. Just gently scoot your bottom towards your heels. Lower yourself all the way down towards the earth. Now come to Ardha Shavasana if you prefer to. Feet come a little wider than normal. Knees roll towards each other without touching. Let your waistband, your back ribs, your tailbone sink to the earth. Arms come out to the sides, palms facing up. Find your breath. Relax through your breath. If you wish to come to full Shavasana, just take your knees gently out to the sides, extend your legs long, and allow your ankles to soften, your toes to roll out to the side, palms stay facing up. Hips are nice and open. Find your natural, comfortable breath. Give yourself time to seal your practice with your Shavasana. Now you may wish to stay here for a fair amount of time. Please do choose to go ahead and do so if you wish to continue in your Shavasana after we have finished the class. Thank you for your practice with me in our easy flow today. Hoping you found some peace, some energy. Stay with your Shavasana. Nice, easy breaths. Continue with your breath pattern. If you're staying in your Shavasana, thank you very much for your practice. If you wish to stop, you can come to seated, cross-legged, hands together at heart center. Whichever preference you have. Take time to give yourself gratitude today for being on your mat. And namaste.